Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Before we actually get into the projects I have for today, I have really dry soil here. This is really old soil, but I want to use it up because everything's so expensive. But you can see how utterly dry this is. So I am going to add a ton of water to it, rehydrate it. It might take a little bit to work this water in. And it's so dry, it's beating off these pieces. So I'm going to try to break it up as much as I can. So don't be like me. Don't store your soil in open air because this is what happens to it. I mean, it might even just be a toss at this point. And I did get new soil just in case. Okay, while we're waiting for that soil to come back together from the brink of death, this is our seeds from like March. No, when did we plant these? February 11th maybe? Look at these. These are amazing. So we have coleus. I have to thin these out drastically. Then this is the zinnias, and they desperately need to be repotted and have something to hold them upright. But they have multiple leaves on them. These are the money plants. Like, look at they need to be repotted desperately as well. But they have multiple leaves. And nothing happened with the pink pampas grass at all. Not one thing germinated. And I've been dog-eyeing these since the day I planted them, truly. Anything that's not come up, I'm just going to repurpose the soil for other seeds I need to start. Like here, we had one, it went away, nothing there. We had a few, but you see how dry the soil is? I have been putting water in the tray, down in the tray, but nothing in there right now. And still no ornamental grass, so I think that was a dud. But look at the peppers. Look, I got multiple leaves on these as well. So those will be repotted this week. Tiny little one coming up here. And these are petunias down at the back. And nothing for the herbs. So the herbs I'm going to start again. And different varieties, all bell peppers. My mom and I don't like the spicy stuff, so I'm going to just stick with bell peppers. But if you were doing like jalapenos or anything of the spicy variety, you could start your peppers around now, depending on, of course, when your last frost date is. And check this out. I had planted this, or started this aloe. It's all cracked down the side. It needs to be repotted bad. Very little soil left in it. Can you see that? That comes with it. But that plant was near death. I am serious. Like, it was gray, bluish gray, almost shriveled. I put it on the heat mat because it's a cactus. And I gave it a little bit of water and it plumped right up. So I actually filled that reservoir with water 2 days ago. I'm just lightly misting it right now because cactus don't like water, but this was so utterly dry that it just is thriving. So this will be repotted. I'm going to put that in a terracotta because that breathes, and use cactus soil for that one. These will be repotted. All of this, I am going to put these all together probably in one. It's just the blue salvia that's up right now. in one 4-inch container and keep them together until they're much larger. And the petunias, I'll probably use 2 4-inch containers. And then of course the peppers, I'll put them all in their own container. And that's part of the projects on the horizon for this week. But again, we have to wait for that darn soil to rehydrate. I do have potting mix, Miracle Grow potting mix. And then I also have seed starting for the other seeds that we're going to start. Anyway, guys, the next image you see may be rehydrated soil. May not be. We'll have to wait and see. And check out this cactus. This one is loving its position in this window. It's a front east-southeast facing window. And I just have it in a dish here to collect excess water. They like to be dry because it is a cacti. And it says it'll continually flower all year round. This is the name of it. Calancho or Calanco. It was a gift for housewarming I received. And can anybody tell me the name of this fern? It had, I don't even know if it was Chinese or it was an Oriental language that I don't know. On the tag when I bought it, it was, oh my goodness, only up to here when I purchased it from the local grocery store. But it is, again, loving its life out in this porch. And it drinks, no word a lie, 2 liters of water every time I have to water it, which is not overly often. I'd say maybe once every 2 weeks or so. It took 2 liters of water today, but I do see there is water in the reservoir. So either I should wick that away or just let the plant suck it up when it wants to. I think I'll do the latter because I'm a little lazy. But see how all the tips are fried. So I was thinking that it was not getting enough water. And it was losing its leaves. They were just plopping off. So I'm giving it more water than it used to get. And it seems to be liking it. But if you know the name of this fern, I would love to know. I guess this became a tour of my houseplants. So I have a beautiful aloe here. That I got, I think I got that one at Giant Tiger, like a retail store. This one was a gift to my mom years ago. It's a Anthurium. I just give that a little bit of water. I don't do the ice cube trick. And we have some roses. That was in honor of my brother's 25th. And over here we have some philodendrons. These ones are just loving this spot. This is a south-facing window. The light coming in here is south-facing. But this philodendron, I had to tuck its vine up and I trimmed these both last year. Heavy trim on them. But look at this. Look at this vine. They are just absolutely loving it here. Look at these. So I'm going to tuck those vines back up so that they're not too heavy on the plant. And not getting in our way as well. I'd love to have that one on a shelf just trailing over. This one has a bunch of vines tucked up too. Looks like there's some leaves to come out of there though. I need to do some pruning on that one. Variegated philodendron. And then this one has a little bit of variegation on some of the leaves, but most of them are just the straight green. Both of them are heart-shaped leaves. So that's pretty much our houseplants. We do have one more downstairs. I'll show you that one. First, who else gets spring onions or green onion, whichever you call them, at the grocery stores, and then you just throw them in the fridge? Not I. I put them straight into fresh, cool water, not cold, ice cold, and not hot, but cool water. Trim off what dies back or goes brown, like that. Trim it back, and it thrives in a window. With cool water, you replace the water every few days just to make sure it's continuously fresh water. It's like a vase of flowers. And then you just take off whatever you need whenever you need it. It's a fresh food in the kitchen. And this is the plant that I have in the basement. It's not flowering, although that's sunflower. That is so fake. But I love it. It reminds me of my grandfather. I have a mirror in behind it to reflect because it is a basement. I'm probably going to shadow this. But this is how it looks when you're coming down into my basement. I'm not sure the name of this plant. I'll put it on the screen because I have to ask what it is. I got a clipping from a friend many years ago. It is sprouting new growth here, so you can see that. And some of these leaves, they need to be dusted, but they are healthy. I just watered it. It's sitting in a plastic tray to catch excess water, which I just watered it heavily. It was very dry. There is a fungal net sticky pad in the back because I do tend to get fungal gnats off this. They don't seem to affect any of the other plants, but I was having a problem with this one. That's my basement plant. Okay, so we are now Monday morning, and it is 9:48 a.m. I think this soil is ready to go, so we're going to check it. I'm going to put gloves on because it's pretty moist. It looks pretty moist and rich. If you remember from yesterday, it was really dry. So I've taken just a kitchen spatula, one I don't use ever, and I'm able to actually get in here pretty good. So I'm going to use my gloved hands and actually get in here. And as you can see, it's going apart really nice. It's not hard anymore. So we're gonna just start and get some planting done. Yeah, it's really nice. And it's clumping together but not dripping. And that's what you want. So I didn't use too much water that it's pooling or too wet. As you can see, it's moistened all the way through. No large clumps. There we go. Beautiful soil. It turned out, I'm glad I saved it. It is beautiful soil. So, the first thing I'm going to get planted is this aloe vera. It's cracked down the side here. I don't know if I can get it out of the container. Let's see. Oh yeah. So I watered it heavily yesterday, so it was easily applied out of the wooden container. I'm actually going to take the sides of this out, just like that, in order to get the actual plant out. So before I apply that out, I'm going to plant it in a beautiful terracotta planter with a saucer, and it's a glazed saucer so that when I water it, it's not going to seep through. So I can put this on an end table anywhere in my home, and I don't have to worry about water because terracotta is porous. So unless the bottom is glazed, you do still have to be careful. But if it's glazed, you can water the pot and it will not seep through the bottom. So let's get some soil into this pot. And I'm going to pack it pretty deep in here because that's quite a small plant. So now I'm going to just move it to the sides, make a nice little well. And I do want to leave a lip for watering, of course. All right, that should be good there. Take my aloe vera out of its container. And this is just one of those plants you buy off a shelf in a store. Usually not the best, fun for kids, I guess, but usually not the best quality plant. However, I did get an English lavender. All right. And generally I would have used cactus soil for this, but I just want to get this potted up, and then once it puts on a little bit more growth and establishes, then in about 6 months or so, I'll plant this up in actual cactus soil. Okay, so pot's getting quite dirty. Once the soil dries, I will actually wipe that off, but that is the aloe vera done. That was pretty easy. So let me put this aside somewhere where it can be dirty. So the next we have to pot up are our money plants. And I am going to use, let's see what I have here. I think I'm going to use these small 4-inch containers. You can see that there. Okay. So I'm just putting a little bit of soil in the pot. Just like that, and up the sides. Now I'm going to take one of my cells. You can see them here. These are the money plants. Let's see how I can do this without making a huge mess. The only thing I don't like about plastic cells, sometimes hard to get the plant out. Okay. That one is hooked on its friend. Okay, there we go. So I'm actually going to plant this fairly deep. Because I want to strengthen its roots. So let me make a nice deep hole. Get those roots down in there. Then I'm just going to pack it full of soil. That looks a little bit better. Sit that there. All right, so I'm going to get the rest of them done, and then I'll show you my zinnias. That's all the money plants. I'm going to put them out in the greenhouse. Now, as you can see, I have very little soil left. So, I think I must make more. But before I do, I think, I think I need to reassess my It's always a thinking game with this stuff because I want to do my zinnias next, but I don't have enough soil, and I want to use all this up before I add new stuff to the mix. Although I'm sure it doesn't really matter. What I think I might do though, just to add a little bit more soil, is we have all this seed starting mix. What was at the end here? Pampas grass. Yeah, that did not germinate at all. So there's seeds still in there, but they're probably not going to germinate. So I'm just going to dump this in here. And I think our best course of action is to use these 4-inch containers. So let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I can put 2 in each of these. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we'll do this. And we'll see how far it takes us. There we go. Okay, so we are now out of soil, and I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more zinnias. So let's get this bag in here and get some water. So this is Miracle Grow Moisture Control Potting Mix. I dumped a whole bag in there. It is 8.8 liter bag. Just a small bag. And now I need some water. A mess all over the place here to clean up. That's all right. Okay, let's try that. That's about 1 liter of water I just put in there. Oh, this feels good. Much better than yesterday's soil I started with. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Look at that, holding together, not dripping. Okay, so that was 1 liter of water for 8.8 liters of soil. So that's a 1:8 ratio. And it depends on your climate too. I don't know if you guys know that, but if your climate is super, super dry, you might need to add more water. I live in a very damp climate. So I'm right alongside the Atlantic Ocean. The air is usually damp here. So that goes without saying that it's damp. There we go. Okay, so now let's get the rest of the zinnias planted. Now we have quite the thinning process to do on these coleus. Those seeds, they took like wildfire. What I'm going to do with the coleus is I am going to start them in these smaller green potting, losing my train of thought, pots. Oh my goodness. And I can get probably quite a few in these. Just this section, and I've only done half, and I've filled up 11 containers, and I've only done 6 small cells. So there's these 6 cells too. So maybe I'll just spread them out here and leave these. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll take one more cell, coleus. Get these planted. And then I'll divide these other cells. Okay. So I'll water these in pretty heavily. This soil is really dry. Okay, so let's get the coleus transplanted here. So the last thing I'm going to work on today are these beautiful bell pepper plants. You can see a few of them are getting their second and third leaves, so they're doing really well. But I want to get these potted up because I love bell peppers, and I will be doing multiple plantings on bell peppers. But first, I think I need to clean up a little bit, and then we'll come back to planting. Okay, so we're gonna get to the peppers, but before that I need to add more soil. So I had a little break and got cleaned up. Now, put new gloves on, just so I keep my nails clean. New gloves. And these are just kitchen latex or whatever gloves. I do have gardening gloves as well, but I find these a little bit better so I can feel what I'm doing. So I need more soil. Now this bag of soil is quite heavy. I don't know if I've said this in previous videos, but I have a shoulder impingement in my right shoulder from gardening. So be careful if you're new to gardening. Just be careful of what you're doing, that you don't injure yourself like I did. Okay, so this bag is also Miracle-Gro potting mix, but this is 28.3 liters. So the other one I dumped in was 8.8 liters. So this one's quite a bit more. I'm going to, there we go, open it up, and I'm only going to dump a little bit at a time. Oh, it looks good. It's pre-moistened. So I'm going to take an empty potting pot and just add, see how dark and rich that soil is? That's why it's so heavy, it's wet. Must have been outside where I had purchased it. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't need to pre-moisten that at all. So let me get a bit of soil in here. That pot's a little flimsy. Let's see. Okay. So for the peppers, because I don't have many pots left, those coleus really did me in, and the zinnias and the money plant, I am going to do 2 plants per pot on these larger ones and 1 per pot on the smaller pots. So I'm going to take my taller pepper plants. So that's a nice tall pepper plant, nice roots on it. Nestle that down deep into the soil and tamp it down lightly. And I'm going to take a little bit of soil and make another well to the side. Get another tall one. Again, another tall one with nice roots. Put that down on this side. And then now let's add soil to top up these plants. And when I plant my pepper plants out into the garden, I will be planting them a little deeper to encourage side shoots of roots, to really encourage the plant to develop a strong root system. I did that last year and had great results. Okay, I think that's good. So they're buried right up to the leaves. That will really encourage them to grow strong and tall. So let me set these aside and we'll keep going. I missed one tiny pepper just sprouting. So I am going to get that into a nursery container. And put it with the others. See how tiny that is? Just like that. All right, so I'm going to put him aside right now. And black velvet petunias, I have a number of them. I think I'll do a large container for them because I think I'll be planting them all in one lump anyway. So let me get this container filled up and we'll get the petunias, black velvet petunias planted up. Okay, so that's all I'm going to plant, and I have, believe it or not, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 petunias in this container. I am not sure if all 9 are going to survive, but that's what I have. All right, for everything else, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to empty my seed starting mix back into this tray, mix it all up, and get it ready to start seeds. That's good. Seed starting mix does not need a lot of water to come together. And we are going to not plant today, at least not yet. So I am going to clean up my mess for today, put things to the side. I like a clean surface. Put my plants out in the greenhouse that need to go there, and we'll set up to plant either tonight or tomorrow. So we have a full tray empty, another full tray empty, and a cell. Plus I have 2 more that I've never started, haven't started yet, so they'll be good. This soil, so it doesn't dry out on me.